two, one. Hook, ha!
What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, yo? Once again, here we go. You are listening to a thing, or you're watching a thing on the internet called the Cipher.
Yes.
I am your host, Marcus the Kid Warren, and with me is my man Muff. How are you doing today,
doing well,
sir?
man. You know, like I said, we're at the end of the year.
End of the year.
Okay, and you know, there's a lot of big news this year in hip hop. And a couple things, you know, we're not going to go all through the whole year, but a couple things that stand out to me. I think we should speak on.
Okay, I would definitely agree.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and set it off? Where we at, man?
Well, you know what? In 2010, there was like a few. In 2010, there was a lot of new stuff in hip hop. There was a lot of things that really stuck out for me.
Okay,
and the biggest thing that stuck out for me was Nicki Minaj's backside. I love me some Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is.
And you know what? I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, and a lot of people are, a lot of people have been
here. We over there hoping and praying. We just got finished talking about Lady Rage, and I was unfortunate because she ain't looking a certain type of way. She didn't even set off hip hop.
But you,
here we go. You know, good and well, you don't care nothing about what Nicki Minaj say.
No, I do, and that's the beautiful thing about Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj is not only is she fine, she can spit. I do believe that lady does have a lot of talent.
Yeah,
and
she does. I mean, you know, I think it's almost kind of a, I don't know, it's like it's hating season on a little bit, and I might have been one of those guys too, lyrically, but I think lyrically she's brought something new to the game, and she's certainly controversial in some ways, and you know, we can argue things about whether or not she's fake or whether or not she's got a, you know, whether or not Kim killed her on her diss song or whatever the heck, I don't know, but right now it is her time. I think she did. I want to say she went gold. Already. You know, she sold a lot of units. In fact, her first week of sales somewhere around about 375,000, something like that, give or take. I believe for the first week of Pink Friday, whatever it was. Black Friday, I don't know.
African American Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever you want to call it.
Negro Friday.
And look, man, there were a lot of African Americans out there. Y'all need to stop it. A man around here damn near got killed because of that madness. Y'all stop it.
Gosh.
Anyway, moving forward, Moving forward, another thing that really stuck out for me. You know what? And I'm going to bring this up because you know, we're coming around it seemed like a corner or something like that when a lot of real hip hop might be hitting the mainstream a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like we were talking about the Kanye West album and stuff like that, and how he wants to bring back true hip hop and things of that nature. And you have a lot of other heads who are going to be coming to the forefront, and they are going to be bringing some real tight music. And one of the people I always reference every time I'm talking to somebody who's young and that they're used to, like, you know, their Lil Waynes and, you know, their Drakes and, you know, their Waka Flockas and their Soulja Boys and stuff like that. And I always bring them to a young man by the name of Black Milk. Now, Black Milk put out an album this year called Album of the Year. Now, this guy, I always reference him because he's not really so much in the mainstream, but he's a brilliant producer, and he can also spit. Speaking of which, I don't know if I got you. Wow, yeah, that was a little crazy. And he can, I mean, he's deadly on the mic, and he's a great producer. And I think that and I've said this before a number of times, even when we reviewed his album of the year. I mean, he is going to be, and people like him are going to be the future of hip hop. And I think when we come around this corner, a lot of people are going to be giving him a lot of attention, and that attention is going to be well deserved. So Black Milk, and if nobody's on up on Black Milk, please check him out, man. Yeah, definitely.
A big Black Milk guy. Another thing, too, a couple things stuck out for me. I know we talked about this on the show a few segments ago. Was the Jay Electronica signing to the Rock Nation.
Yes.
Okay? And recently, I was looking at on the internet, on YouTube, where they were interviewing Just Blaze. Just Blaze produced Exhibit A and Exhibit C, among other things. You know, Dear Moleskin is another song he's done for Jay Electronica. So they work together. They have great chemistry together. Just Blaze and the Beast, Jay Electronica on the mic, obviously. And they were asking Blaze to speak on that situation. He didn't really want to go into detail about it. And I'm trying to figure out, why is it that he didn't really go into detail about it? He said Jay is such a free spirit, Jay Electronica, to where he could say one thing today and we'll do something different tomorrow. He said whether or not it was a good idea for Jay Electronica to sign with Jay-Z, he said remains to be seen. You know, we'll see. You know, because he said you got to figure people have been coming to us, and when he said us, he referred to Jay Electronica and himself, Blaze, with tons of propositions from deals. We'll give you $2 million here. You guys got to sign it, but they never really agreed or liked the terms they were presented with. So the subject came up about Puffy. And he basically was saying that Puff was kind of cocky. You know, they did the one song "Goes to Christopher Walken,"
which was a hot track.
It was a hot track, you know. But he said the thing about it. He said, and Blaze said, I had to hit Jay Electronica to this. Puffy doesn't come around you just because he wants to be buddy-buddy with you. There's an angle here somewhere. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we talked before where it might not be the wisest decision on Jay Electronica's part to sign with Puffy given his track record.
Okay.
You know what I mean? With other artists.
Right.
So, I mean, he didn't say it overtly, but, I mean, if you read between the lines, that's basically what he was saying. And then, you know, I told you earlier today, I started thinking about, or I was, listening to this recent interview with Jay-Z where they were talking about the Jay-Z, Biggie thing, so on and so forth. And we also talked, and I'm going somewhere with this guy, so hang in there with me. I know I'm being long with it, but hang in there. And I also talked about the fact that Jay-Z and Jay Electronica put out Shiny Suit Theory, which is kind of a diss song, not so subtle diss song to Puffy.
Another hot track, by the way.
Another hot track. Okay. Listening to this interview with Jay-Z about, it was a very candid interview. It was on Cipher Sounds, I believe.
Okay.
And it's on the internet. You can reference this, guys. It's like an hour-long interview, at least. And he was talking about the fact that him, D-Rock, Biggie, and another guy whose name escapes me right now were very close during the time that Life After Death was about to come out. You gotta figure. Reasonable Doubt had already been out, or just came out. Didn't sell a lot. Reasonable Doubt wasn't like as great of an album as that is. It didn't hit like some of his later albums, but it was kind of his best album, which is weird, right?
Right.
He was talking about, I'm trying to do the math here, and although Jay-Z, from what I heard of that interview, didn't diss Puffy or anything like that, but it was obvious that if you're that close with Biggie, you gotta feel some type of way, one way or the other, about Diddy. So I was trying to figure out for myself, and y'all can help me out with this. That it's something there with that, because like Jay-Z at the time was saying, I didn't even know that Jay Electronica was still available to be signed. When I signed him, I didn't know. And then once he did sign with Puffy, when Jay Electronica did this, Puffy went on Twitter, as we talked about before, feeling some type of way. This is like this feels betrayal, all these other crazy words he used, like he felt some type of way about that. So I just thought that was really interesting because, I mean, in my opinion, again, if Jay Electronica was to sign Puffy, I don't think that would be a good look for him whatsoever. You know what I mean? I think we'd be missing out on some really quality work by Jay Electronica, because you know the type of MC he is. Right. You know what I mean? He's not the type he's very introspective. He's not going to go in and, I don't see him making a bunch of club records. That's not who he is. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whereas, again, if you're with Jay-Z, you're probably going to have access to, obviously, you got Just Blaze, who you've proven that you have a very good chemistry with. Right. In addition to that, you're probably going to get some Kanye West beats.
Wow,
I'm
getting goosebumps just thinking about that.
That's about crazy. This, man. So I mean, and then you're going to be able to rhyme with these guys. You know what I mean? You figure, because another thing too, Most Def is officially signed to the Good Music label. Okay, which is kind of, I think, it's a subsidiary, if you will, of the Rock Nation. Okay, just Kanye's own. Thing with that. But they have Pusha T and all that stuff. So better music could come from that. From those guys, as opposed to him just going with Puffy and doing a collaboration with the band. Exactly.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
Well, people like myself, when I first heard about it, I thought that Puffy might be able to, or Diddy, whatever he's calling himself this week, I thought that he might actually be trying to come around that corner, like a lot of people are doing right now, or a lot of people might be doing later on, and maybe trying to put his foot in like some real hip hop, you know what I'm saying, and maybe trying to get like another genre of music going on on his label, because everybody pretty much remembers Diddy as that shiny suit guy. He's the guy who puts out hits, doesn't really take care of his artists that well, and he's just that guy who's just going to chew you up and spit you out. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that he might be doing that just to maybe polish up his image a little bit with backpackers.
Puffy got an angle, but I mean, what it is with Jay Electronica. I don't care who you are. You hear this dude rhyme. You want to do something with him. You just want him on your team. You don't even know what to do with him. You want him because he's just that dope. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And even like, okay, I had a great idea for you to come in. Nah, you think about that later. You get him on your team first. Then you figure it out later. That's the type of guy he is. But your interview, a couple things too. I'll mention. I'll trade with you back and forth here. How do you feel about this, man? Pete Rock, CL Smooth, I guess, are reuniting.
I just heard that. That
is awesome, man. Them Company Flow too for the backpack crowd. They know they getting back together too, which is great. But Pete Rock, CL Smooth.
Yo,
that's awesome. That
is,
and you guy missing maybe.
You know what? And I think you may have said this last week or the week before that. You said that that there's something that about CL Smooth that when Pete Rock without CL Smooth, there's something missing there. You know what I'm saying?
Without question, because he's so damn. It's like this. He's so soulful in the way he rhymes. CL Smooth. He rhymes like his name, right?
Basically.
And it's funny because I'm on YouTube. I guess they did a show in London recently.
Really?
Yeah, and they're about to play. Then they reminisce over you. Before they play it, you can hear that. I start like that band, whatever's playing in the background before the horns come in, and everybody, the anticipation is building. Then he goes. They stop the music and he said, "Y'all want to hear? They reminisce over you. You got to say something." They say what they got to say. And next thing you hear, everybody's going crazy. You know what it reminded me of? I might have mentioned this before.
You're reminiscing?
Well, about to reminisce.
Okay.
But what anthems can do for you when you see them live, man. My wife and I, Essence Festival 2002. We go and check out, it was the Roots, but De La Soul was there also.
Okay.
And De La Soul, when they were on stage, brought out Black Sheep.
Nice.
Black Sheep Dress comes out.
No.
Yes, he did. He played this or that. The choice is yours.
Oh.
Man, so you got to figure, in these side venues, it's got to be about maybe 100 or 200 people maximum that can fit in these side venues inside of the New Orleans Superdome,
right?
Where the Roots and the De La Soul and all these guys were playing. So everybody had beers. It was crazy, right? Everybody's having a great time. A bunch of backpackers there too, by the way. It's a festival, yeah. But people with the backpacks there,
nice. Backpack.
It's 2002. You figure after 2001, there ain't no backpacks.
Right?
What you got in that backpack?
Exactly.
What you got a bomb in it? Anyways. So he comes out there, and when he goes, engine. The whole crowd starts squatting down. If that train jumps off the track, pick it up. People start jumping. Beer flying everywhere. I swear to you. I'm over kind of shooter, but I'm getting hyped too. I gotta back for the scene. Crispy and clean. I'm like, oh man,
because you can't.
Yeah, she was with it too. I was like, baby, I didn't know you had no athletic ability. What you doing like that for? So, yeah, man. So that was awesome, man. What else do we have here? I got a couple notes here. We know Rick Ross, Teflon Don. That one gold also. I thought that was a very, very good album.
Very, very grown album. Very, very grown album.
I thought the production was definitely tight on that. What else do we have? Black Rob. Speaking of Puffy.
Okay.
Black Rob has signed with Duck Down Music.
Get out of here.
Being the label of Black Moon or Buckshot Shorty and Black Moon and all those guys. I like Black Rob. I've always liked Black Rob. I like the way his gruffy voice is. I know he got locked up doing dumb stuff.
Right.
But Black Rob, I've always been a fan of Black Rob. And that album, the one album that he put out with Whoa. In fact, if you listen to the song Whoa, for me, for the 90s, if we were ever to do a show about the top songs of the 90s, which would be, how long would that take you to do? Oh my God, there's so many. That would definitely have to be like in my top 10.
Yeah.
Because I thought that song, you talk about a hip hop anthem? You play that now? Man. Whoa, is crazy.
Yes, sir.
My goodness, man. So, Mos Def, we also talked about that. He's also signed.
Yeah, what's the name of his album again?
Well, he doesn't have an album coming. He doesn't necessarily have an album coming out. I don't know what the name of his album, but he's also signed to Kanye West's Good Music imprint.
Right.
You know what I mean? Him, Pusha T from the Clips is also there, but that doesn't mean that the Clips are breaking up. But I just thought that was a great signing for those guys. Finally.
What?
Detox is coming out slated for 2011 in February. Right. Now, I heard the first song, Kush, which is okay for me. I'm not a huge Kush guy. In terms of that song, it's okay. But, man, shoot. When Dre comes back, usually he shuts the game down. So I'm really curious. I want to get those, hey, listen, Mom, wifey, I want some Beats by Dre headphones for Christmas. This one's $300, I think, man. Something crazy, man. There's got to be a I want the bootleg kind of something. The beats by Mac Dre.
Yeah. I'm gonna be in Brooklyn in a couple weeks. I'll see
go to Dylan. Yes,
I'm gonna be on Canal Street. I'll see if I can pick you up
some beats by Dre. I ain't got these beats by Dre, but I got these beats by Manny Fresh. He's got the bootleg version, man. I tell you, but I'm looking forward to these things coming up, man. You got the Mos Def coming out on good music. That's gonna be awesome. Your Mentally, Kweli has another album that's gonna be coming out, I believe, in January of next year. So that's coming out very soon. So great stuff coming out, man. You got any other closing things for the last year in hip hop?
Man, there was a lot of things I loved about this year. A lot of great hip hop came out this year. I mean, like I said before, Black Milk was one of my highlights. I love Kanye West's new album. The movie that he did, Runaway. I love that. And we just talked about one of my favorite albums of the year. Also, Reggie by Redman. He put his ankle in it, and it's just great to hear.
I hope that does well, that Reggie album.
I mean, just great to hear great hip hop, and I'm sure everybody out there. I'm hoping. So, what is your projection for 2011 and going forward? I mean, are we going to see this great wave of hip hop? Like, I mean, and I'm not talking about like the rest of the backpackers. We know where to find great music. I mean, are we ever going to see this stuff ever come into the light in the forefront? Are we ever going to see this?
Based on what I've heard so far, you got these guys. I mean, man, listen. You know what I did before I came in here? I told you about it. I don't even want you to hear it yet. So I'm ready for you to hear it. I'm going to get you right for this.
It's like that, huh?
I just got last night, man. I had a copy of the Ghostface album, Apollo Kids. Let me tell you, man. We're going to review it. I don't want to go too far ahead here. That album is banging, man. Man, I don't know what it is about Ghostface, but Ghostface Killer has always been the most consistent member of Wu-Tang to me.
Really?
You know what I mean? Because, we can say it's arguable that Cuban Links by Raekwon was probably the best album for a lot of people, although for me it was Iron Man by Ghostface. But that's arguable. That's
out of the whole Wu-Tang
out
of all the individual Wu-Tang albums, Cuban Links. I mean, it was great. Don't get me wrong.
You gonna say Liquid Swords better than Cuban Links?
No. I'm not gonna say so much Liquid Swords.
What album was better than Cuban Links?
And you're probably gonna be mad.
I ain't gonna be mad. I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy and get you some medication. Go ahead. Be careful.
Tikal. I love Tikal. Tikal.
I love it too, but it's gonna say Tikal better than Cuban Links.
I think so.
Listen,
Tikal. I'm sorry.
Don't go to they're gonna send you over to the Quest Diagnostics and get you with a
hit me up. Let me know. Tell me I'm not crazy.
You are
Tikal. Go back and listen
to this dude straight, y'all. Tell me you know what he's talking about. I love Tikal. Like I know a lot of y'all like Tikal. Tikal was a good album.
Tikal was a great album.
It wasn't better than Cuban Links. Wasn't better than Iron Man.
Okay.
What better? Tikal wasn't even better than Liquid Swords.
Wow.
Nothing.
Wait, I'm breaking the band.
Come on, man.
I'm not talking to you no more, man.
Oh, God. This is, man. Shoot.
You see what I got to deal with?
Man, no, you don't see what I got to deal with. You see how we have to set this dude straight. See?
Tell us, man. Okay, please. So everybody set me.
Let me finish my point. Then we'll finish arguing about this off camera. Because this could end up bad. We might not even have self for them behind this. But anyways, on the real, Ghostface though, I think whatever you want to argue with, the best individual albums come out. Whenever you look at his string of work, Ghostface consistently puts out quality work every time. I can't say about every single individual Wu-Tang member. He does great work. So I'm listening to Apollo Kids, and when we talked about this beforehand. As an MC, you are responsible for your beat selection. That's why some of these great MCs, some of these elite MCs, don't always have the best albums because they're not great beat selectors, i.e. Nas, right? But, we know that Ghostface isn't like this great, exceptional. I like Ghostface. I love his lingo and his rhyme. I'm a Ghostface fan. I do like his rhymes. But I'm not going to say he's the best MC ever, nothing like that. But that said, this dude has a knack for picking out beats, man. It is his gift. He knows how to pick out beats, man. When you listen to beats and I know that a lot of y'all might penalize him because he used a lot of these blaxploitation samples, and you do have a few of them on here, but dude, he rips. Man, he does this. Then he always has these things where he has these vocal samples that he rhymes over, like he did it a few albums ago. It might have been Pretty Tony where he raps over Superman Lover. You know what I mean? That type of thing. That's his niche a little bit.
Okay.
You know, but it's great. He's got a couple great guests on his album. He's got like Black Thought on one of these songs in there. When you hear this joint, it's gonna blow you away. Cause it's nicer than he almost had to be careful with this. Cause Black Thought got on there and just ripped this beat on there on Ghostface's album. I'm like, oh my god, Black Thought is on something serious, right? What is he come on with a solo album? I don't know about because he rips it, man. Okay. Black Thought being one of the most underrated MCs out there, by the way, in my opinion, very underrated. At any rate, you know, getting back to your original point, I think hip hop, you know, and it's funny because Ghostface could have went R&B, could have went in some different direction, but he kept it it's very much a Ghostface album. Very true. I mean, it sounds like one of his first solo albums. Not that it sounds dated. I don't mean it like that. But he stayed to the traditional Ghostface-esque type album. You know, I know he's got a couple RZA beats on there here and there, but I'm not going to review it now. We'll talk about that later. But getting back to your original point, whether or not where I think hip hop's going, I think hip hop you got your Kanye West. You're getting more diverse in hip hop as opposed to the decade of the 2000s. It wasn't as diverse to me. Everybody tried to sound the same. Right. You know what I mean? You know, but now you're getting different sounding stuff. Kanye West. Rick Ross is kind of a different album in the way it was produced. I really thought that. Okay. Even Drake's album, which is, you know, you like or hate it, it was definitely a different type of album because it had a lot of emo in there. You know, it's just different now. Right. You know, so you're not forced to listen to one type of hip hop anymore. So you're going to start seeing it grow again. That's what made the 90s, man, because of the diversity in hip hop, in my opinion. So,
well, all in all, I think 2000s or 2000 and 2010 half garbage. There was a lot of garbage out there, very frustrating for a lot of people who love hip hop, including myself. But it's great to hear, just fantastic hip hop. Like I said, like my Red Man's, and even like I said, I will mention her again, Nicki Minaj. And about this whole thing with Takal and everything. Put me in my place. Let me know. Hit us up at Kid.
Please, and be nice when y'all do it. Y'all gotta set them straight. I already know what's gonna happen.
Look, y'all. You
messing around with your credibility, talking crazy like that. You messing around with that.
I just feel how I feel about that. I'm sorry. All right. Please let me know. Hit us up at kidandmuff44@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
You can also hit us up. Be our friend on Facebook. We are the Cipher Crew. Please be our friend.
Be our friend. Merry Christmas again.
And Merry Christmas, y'all.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to you too, Muff.
My man. All right.
Hey, it's been a year. We've been doing this for a year now. That's crazy. Wow.
Awesome.
All right, man. All right. Until the next time, we will see y'all next year. And why? Because the Cipher said so, son.
Right now. Peace. Oh, and check out that Ilmore Avenue. One more thing too. Ilmore Avenue. You know, we gonna give you a review of this underground group, Ilmore Avenue.
Actually, that's the name of the album.
That's the name of the album, man. So you know, we'll give you more detail on that. That's coming up. So be on the lookout for that, guys. All right.
Yes, sir. We're out.
Peace. Okay.